Right, welcome to our first official podcast show.
So excited.
Oh, do you know what? Linsey just makes the best coffee. It's just so everyone knows.
Obviously. Can't make tea though.
Why?
I don't drink it, so I make it really badly.
To be fair, actually your specialty is the coffee.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, so today's topic is going to be about the Better Pay for Social Care petition. Now, this has been brought in by government and has been challenged a few times in the past. The most recent petition is to raise the national minimum wage from $8.72 to the living wage of $9.30 an hour. To be fair, I think if this can be put in place, then it will be a good step for people who work in social care. I think as well, because the role's quite, like a support worker has so many different roles, it's not just as simple as that, is it really?
Definitely. I mean, I think a lot of the jobs in health and social care are a lot more intense, and you know, you do a lot more than people actually think the job entails. So yeah.
So now I do think really this has been a long time coming, because I think to be a support worker you've got to have like so many different like attributes and qualities. Obviously you got to be caring, and it's like a vocation in a way, not just a job for the money, clearly, because we're having this conversation about
Yeah.
why it's not even like about the money sometimes, a job, but I just think for the amount of work that is required. And I think it's the fact that other jobs, for instance, in a like supermarkets like Aldi and Lidl, people are like £10 an hour.
Yeah.
And I just think in comparison of what our job is, dealing with professionals, that's all things that are part of the role, but kind of never really discussed, or I don't even know if people actually know that's part of it. But I just think you are expected to do quite a lot as well. So I do think this pay increase will be like a really good move for the health and social care sector. Plus, I just think it's deserved as well for people.
Definitely. I mean, in our last podcast when we spoke about mental health, I think I actually said that you definitely need to have a passion to work in mental health, and I think that goes across the whole health and social care sector. You know, if you haven't got a passion for the job, and you know, you don't care like about your job, then you're not going to do it very well, and I think that's really important in health and social care. So I think the pay doesn't reflect the responsibilities that you have, because sometimes it's hard to switch yourself off when you finish work, when you're working with people and people's lives and everything else. It's hard to switch off and come home and be like, okay, I've finished work today, now I'm going to relax. Sometimes it is difficult to do that, and it's hard not to take your work home with you. So yeah, I think it's about just feeling appreciated and just having just a decent wage, so you can make a decent living with your family and that, because it's hard nowadays. Prices for everything are just going up and up, and you know, it is difficult.
I've always thought like it's like the cost of living, as you say, increases, but the amount that obviously the wage increases doesn't really near match what it should be. As you said, there can be a struggle for people, but I just think as well, I have done the role for like 10 years as a support worker, but I think as you get to experience the role, you do realise like it is something that, as you say, it is a passion and a vocation, which, as I said, being in the industry that long, I just think it's something that you can't really describe. It's just something that you want to do, which I think is good as well, because I think sometimes people don't have the confidence as well to apply for things like that, because I've spoken to a few people and it's something they said, oh, I would really be interested, but I think people are a bit, don't know if it is to do with the money, but some people don't apply. That could be one of the reasons, but I think as well it's just having that confidence to go for it sometimes.
But as you said before as well, you know, there's a lot of jobs like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it's not difficult to work in a supermarket. Every job has its challenges and things like that. But if you're applying for jobs and you say a support worker job or a job in health and social care, that is the minimum wage, and then you see a job in a supermarket that's like £9.30 an hour, you know, what are you going to do? You're going to go for the higher pay, aren't you? And the sector at the moment, it is struggling to get good staff and to keep good staff. And I think a lot of it is to do with the wage, because some people go into the job and the amount of like stress and that they get from the role is not reflected in the pay, and sometimes they might think, do you know what, I just can't do it anymore, it's not worth it.
And I think as well of the time that I've spent with like working with different people like throughout the 10 years, like there has been people who have left the job, and it's always been because financially they can't sustain themselves, or they've said, I do love the people I'm working with, I love the job, it is just based on I can't really like carry on the wage.
Yeah, definitely.
But as you said, they're losing good staff because they're the people who are passionate, but it is literally just can't survive on the wage. So I think this petition coming in, and to be fair, from what I've seen, it is quite popular and a lot of people have signed it. So I do think it will go forwards to government and parliament to obviously discuss this and hopefully get some results from it.
I mean, obviously there's a lot of politics around it, and I'm not pretending that, you know, I understand loads of politics, because I don't. But, you know, you'd understand that it is a lot to do with politics, and some private companies, like, obviously they get their jobs and their work from councils and things like that, and then they give them a certain amount to run this service or that service or this care package. So, you know, there is a lot of moving parts in it, but, you know, I think the majority of people are aware that it is in need of the pay being reviewed for health and social care, and hopefully that's where this petition is taking us. So,
to be fair as well, I think it's just, I'm actually surprised really it has took government this long to, in a way I think because of what's happened with the pandemic and stuff, I think they have actually realised, not just obviously support workers, the whole social care sector, the NHS, the nurses, doctors and stuff, like how much people need people to do that job, and it is a respected job in a way because it's kept obviously everything going at the minute. The NHS have been amazing with like treating people, and they've made their own personal sacrifices, so I do think it is about time it was noticed. So I'm just, hopefully through this pandemic and what the NHS have done as well, it'll just reflect on all health and social care that they thought, well, you know what, these are valuable jobs that we need to keep going.
Definitely. It's really brought to light a lot of people working in supermarkets, you know, corner shops, you know, people coming together, like local councils coming together to help people who are maybe struggling a lot during this time. And, you know, I think that's a really nice thing to see, and it's shown you that there's a lot of good people everywhere. I mean, there's a local DIY shop in the area that I live, and they did some brilliant things over the pandemic, especially during the first lockdown, just reaching out to people on Facebook and stuff who live in the local area who maybe weren't able to get shopping and things like that. And, you know, it just shows a lot of solidarity, and I think it shows the amount of people that are like signing this petition who don't even work in health and social care or things like that, but their lives has been touched slightly by it, you know, people signing it. And
because I know, like, some of my family have obviously seen it because I've shared it on Facebook and stuff like that, and as you said, not necessarily, they don't have to really work in the sector. I think from what I've said over the years and what we've talked about, I think they kind of realise how much does go into the role and want to obviously support the people that they love as well too. I think it's probably just justice for what I think a long time ago it always should have just been the living wage anyway, because even the way it says minimum wage, it's like, it just sounds like it's not giving that person what they need and what they deserve really. But I think to access as well the petition, there was a link on my Facebook, but if you go onto my Instagram page, it's in the bio as well to access the petition if anyone else who's listening today wants to sign it. So yeah, I'll put details on the bottom of the podcast. Oh, we've come to the end of our podcast. Again, sometimes you just get on the roll, don't you, and just get so into it. But Joe, I'm just so excited we've done our first podcast, and I just can't wait for next month.
No, it's like our first proper full one, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I was super nervous and super excited. I think I'm starting to get used to it a little bit now, so I look forward to our next one.
Oh, no, you've done amazing, and it was just good to talk about something we can like mutually agree on type thing, because we've both been in that sector, we worked in the sector, so it's good that we've got that like kind of topic to discuss as well, because it is close to our hearts.
Definitely.
But, yeah, so tune in next month for our next podcast, and I will see you all soon.
See you next month, guys.
Bye.